Uber for Dylan?
Yes, sir.
Who the f is this guy? No. What the f was that?
I gotta say, those were some truly beautiful intro videos that we've just seen there. And as we take a look at both of these teams getting ready to line up against each other in a vital match, you know, you can take a look at statistics all you want, but, you know, you get towards that crunch time, I feel, at any point in the tournament. And, you know, I think previous form can kind of go out the window. I mean, yes, it's nice to come in carrying some momentum, but at the end of the day, you're at that time where if there's any moment you could switch it on, it's now. So even players who may not have been happy with how they've played throughout the whole tournament, they could all of a sudden switch it on and therefore switch how the series looks completely up in the air. So you definitely can't count any of these teams out going into this one.
Yeah, and definitely with a new series at the start of a new day, that's always going to be a factor when it plays into things as well. And you can't count on, as you said, previous statistics in days where you've had a little bit better of a run or you've got some reps in. That's definitely going to play a part into it. But we look now to our map pool, and we're going to start on 6-star hardpoint for map number 1. There's obviously a nice little variety there in the pool with Invasion, Karachi, Subbase, and Rio if we do go that distance. But yeah, starting off on 6-star with those new rotations, gonna see how these guys are gonna play it out, and you know, see how that new 4-hill factor plays into the swing of things, because those new rotations and those new holds, teams have to work on the fly to figure those out nice and early, and there's not going to be a big margin of error for these guys to let that map 1 go as easy. So either one of these teams, they're going to want to set the form nice and early on 6-star for map number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you just alluded to, that kind of 4-point sort of system that they've got going for 6-star, something that we're not used to seeing. It means, you know, going into these points, you don't have as many to rely on, in the sense of if you know that you're not feeling as comfortable on certain points, that you can regain in the next one or next two. If you find yourself having lost 2 points, next thing you know, you're going on to P3 or P4 to potentially try and break even before you're resetting on the points back to P1. So it's one of those maps that has proven itself as a rather unique one because of that, and the way teams have to rotate onto it. So yeah, I think both of these teams are going to be going into this one just trying to dominate each other when it comes to kills, trying to make sure they have that map control, getting rotations nailed down and setting themselves off on the right foot, because if we go all the way in this series, we have a real mishmash of maps and modes.
Yeah, and you got a bit of a pace difference on some of these maps as well. And, you know, Search and Destroy, you're going to expect that change of pace regardless. But a sort of map like Subbase comparing to 6-star, it's probably not as high engagement, and definitely you're taking different sorts of gunfights. So just that ability to be able to adapt and change between each map, regardless of the mode, is going to be super important for both of these teams here. And that adaptation, it's going to show very, very early for either one of these teams, and who's going to be able to take advantage of that nice and early.
Yeah, absolutely. It's who's going to be able to take advantage, who's going to be able to adapt. I think especially for an Invasion, Search and Destroy, you know, again, such a tactical affair. And we seen this in yesterday's showing where we had a number of teams go on, win a couple of rounds, and all of a sudden have a couple of rounds taken off them. And then from there, that really shows whether or not you're adaptable. You know, one team has proven that it has the answers to how you've been playing. So can you change your play style and keep getting a few rounds before it gets too late? I think adaptability really is the key word when it comes down to how this series could play out. And I think there is going to be some adaptability needed in this hardpoint as well. Both of these teams are going to be trying to see how they fare out against each other on this map. And you know, just because one series of rotations maybe goes perfectly towards one team, or maybe one whole set of rotations, doesn't mean that when you go back to that P1 in the next set, that's guaranteed for them either.
Absolutely, and let's kick it off and see how this P1 goes. And it's going to be Sudor Gaming who are going to start inside of the point. And obviously we're going to see these teams try and battle it out over towards P2 nice and early, but straight off the rip, we've got a lot of kills here coming from Sudor Gaming, trying to find control at P1 nice and early. But you can see the bodies starting to fly through and just find a safe spot on the contest. But so far, not able to manage LO6 Gold, struggling to find some kills around this point. But you know, Sudor Gaming, they're going to get a little bit of time here, and you can see their prioritization towards P2 already as Cheeseburger trying to lock down the vent here before P2 pops.
Yeah, Sudor have done a great job on that P1 and making sure to rotate over to have the spawns for P2, but you do see LO6 Gold are pushed up nicely to maybe get a break, but they haven't checked behind them, and Choco has made them pay. That is a fantastic two-piece, and Sudor Gaming are getting this hill closed out. They have the spawn set, they are set on the point, they've got their angles. It's going to be up to some big gun skill now to get breaking through this hill.
And Choco already starting out 6-0, so he's already got a streak secured, which is a great start for Sudor Gaming. Exactly the sort of pace you want to set nice and early, so they are finding kills absolutely everywhere around the point, and Choco happy to just sit off the edge of the point, try and bait some of these players from LO6 Gold into the hill, and now finally they do, but the pitch coming in through the back, Conma only able to find one before the trade from Buddha comes through, and now some time, much needed time here for LO6 Gold. They're going to try and accrue these last 10 seconds. And P3 getting ready to pop. There's some players on that rotation, and it's nice to see the kill feed line up a little bit more gold now. But there's Conma popping two on that rotation, making sure he locks down all the front of pool. And this will be on LO6 to try and find the break through the side here.
Yeah, LO6 have done a great job getting that scrap on P2, showing that they have the ability to break a hill and then go up for a good set of rotations themselves. But Splody has gotten around the back now and will potentially have spawns for his team and have that pinch angle, but Cheeseburger is making sure to keep it watched. But all in all, it is LO6 Gold still on the time, on the point, taking up the time, and it's been a fantastic turnaround from them, who maybe just started a little bit slower but now are already beginning to warm up as Sudor Gaming are trying to get in and break through, and the gunfights are very back and forth, and it is going to be Sudor now getting the scrap, but we're sort of having the polar opposite of what we've seen in that P number 2, where it's this time it's Sudor breaking in late to get the scrap, and because of that they're keeping themselves in the lead.
Yeah, and Sudor did a good job breaking at the last second there just to flip those spawns of LO6 Gold to spawn towards that old P2 spawn. And now you've got a bit of a 3-on-3 on the side here. One player down in the garden, but it's going to be Austin just taking his time at the front here, trying to get the support of his teammate from behind. But Danny Mac is doing a good job staying down, and now they're starting to find some kills. Just Austin left. There's the 3 down. Now they have control of the point. They're going to be able to hold on to this, hopefully, for a good amount of time. But you can see players now starting to spread off. The streak's going to come through for Choco. Does only find just the one player, but you still got Danny Mac close by, waiting for the players to come through, and such a tough angle to take gunfights from. Splody able to find one up in the window, but they're making it really, really messy here. LO6 Gold now starting to find a little bit of scrap time towards the end of this P4.
Yeah, they're making it so that Sudor Gaming are really having to work for every bit of time that they get, and the kill feeds, you know, they're far more back and forth than what they were at the beginning, where Sudor Gaming were picking up a couple of 2 pieces and looking strong. LO6 Gold really have pulled it back when it comes to these kills and having a bit of map presence and just making things awkward. I would say Sudor Gaming may be still controlling a little bit of this map, but not nearly as easily as they were. And now actually as we're back onto this P1, and LO6 are completely set up on the point. Would argue maybe now it's this set of rotations we might start seeing them pull ahead, because they have grown into this game super quickly since that P3.
Yeah, we talk about adjustments nice and early before the start of this map, and one of those things we take into a play is the spawns that you get from that last hill to the current one here. It's really, really tough for Sudor Gaming to find the proper side they want to play, but you know, here they are inside of the point now. A couple of lead changes have come through for both sides, and Cheeseburger just trying to run amok through this connector area here, but you still got one player just tucked away, hiding, playing his life. He's got Austin right around the corner as well, and you know, a bit of a passive break here for LO6 Gold. Don't want to give him too much scrap time here. Drew does find one there, but you know, out of position for the rotation again. It's going to be numbers battle on new for P2, and Sudor finding the initial time here through Choco.
Well, Buddha had picked up a great position there for the spawns on P2, but eventually is found out as the spawns don't end up going in his favour. Sudor Gaming managing the spawn through the back, with Choco, who's been sitting up around that P2 for a while, just actually got taken out there. Sudor Gaming have been chasing these rotations a little bit more. They got a bit fortunate with that spawn on P2, but in terms of who's been proactive on the map, making sure that they're rotated around and trying to set up for the next point, I feel like LO6 Gold again are exuding a little bit more control here and sort of playing how they want to play a bit more and having it work. However, Sudor Gaming, they're still making life difficult, getting onto point, having fantastic two pieces such as that, and ultimately keeping themselves in the lead, which is what counts. And as we reach towards the end of this time, it's 108 to 143. And it looks like Sudor Gaming could be set up for some nice rotations as well, as Splody will have to go big in the back.
Yeah, and Sudor did good on the rotation the last time around, so hopefully they can improve just a little bit from the last time, and we'll see what they decide to do. But we're seeing a lot of waves of aggression here from both sides. There's not really one pace being maintained, and here we go. A contest comes in, a lot of kills coming through, but Conwar walks away with 2. He's going to have to try and play his life here and get some cover. He's got the help of Splody. They're going to work through the back here. A slow pinch from the side. There they go. They find a few, but Conwar finds himself on a 4 spree. Picked himself up a couple of kills. He's got a few more coming off of spawn as well. Can he get the final one for Streaks? It's right there for him, but Cheeseburger laying him down. Choco, luckily, right there to trade and grab the rest of that time, and they're going to extend on the lead before P4 pops, but maybe a big improvement from the last time round for Sudor Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. They improved on that point way more. Again, maybe the rotations didn't suit for them in the end. They ended up losing the back, but they were able to hold strong from the front. And the difference maker, I think, for Sudor Gaming has just been the amount of kills they're able to pick up in situations. They hold from the front, get 2 pieces, have players going on little runs here and there. LO6 Gold always seem to be able to answer back, though, which is what's making this game really close. But at the end of the day, Sudor Gaming, even if they only have a 20-30 point lead, even if it was only a 5-point lead, you get to that point where 5 points is all you need once you reach that 250 mark. So LO6 Gold are going to need to find some momentum in terms of actually being able to chain a hill or 2 together, because that's what it's going to take to get back into this one at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're not afraid to stack a lot of bodies in this point as well and just take one-on-ones from inside of the point. Instead of pushing out the sides, they're happy to coop up, they're happy to make it nice and scrappy for Sudor Gaming to make the break, and now their rotation over to P1 looking a bit better this time around. They've got some numbers, it's going to be a bit of a battle between both, and now the trades are starting to come through for both sides. Drew finds himself on a 5, he's very, very close to obtaining a streak. Cheeseburger's going to get this contest down. He knows he's in trouble, so he's just going to slide out. Maybe try and play for a few more kills here. Probably a wise decision. And Conwar, he's been big throughout part of this map. He's had some moments. He's trying to light it up for his team and take the momentum and shift it back in their favour. Every time LO6 Gold get close to this lead change, Sudor come out swinging and they pull it right out from underneath them.
They absolutely do. That was a massive wave of kills that Conwar was involved with. Now sitting on the point, LO6 realize they need to try and get broken back in, and they nearly do, but they can't quite manage it, and Sudor Gaming are going to get over that 200 point mark, and they are also pretty set up, but massive kills on the rotations. It is Cheeseburger who picks that up and should pick up the spawns. So LO6 Gold doing everything that they can in their power to give themselves the lifeline of having the spawns for the point, but they are getting pushed out. Choco did go around the back, take out Cheeseburger, and Sudor Gaming have set themselves up into a great position now to potentially take at least enough of this time to see them through. I think P3 is going to come into play in this one, but no more than that, as Sudor Gaming will be looking to close it up right here.
Yeah, I think we might get a P3 here. It just depends on how well LO6 Gold can keep this contested, even if they don't get time, if they can leave some of it vacant. There's still 2.5 minutes on the time as well. They can use that in their favour. What a spot from Cheeseburger to get that kill. Now LO6 trying to grab back some of that lost time from a few of those hills. They've done a decent job to keep themselves alive in this game. They're giving themselves a very good shot to take this map 1. It's really down to Sudor Gaming and their rotation here, and it looks like Drew's going to grab the rest of this time, as well as being 2 away from a streak. He could possibly be the difference at the end here, and we'll see what they're going to be able to do as they work through the middle of the map and send 4 bodies through this statue area.
Sudor Gaming have been notoriously bad at holding this hill from the back throughout this entire game. Whether that changes here, we'll soon see. It looks like they're going to be able to hold on. Austin with a big 2 defending that push, but straight away realizes he has to turn forward, and Legends of 6 Gold will only have 1 or 2 pushes left at the very maximum, so they do need to make it count. And Conwell still managing to stay alive in that point. Drew taking off streaks as well. As we seen him close earlier, that has been massive.
Oh.
And on a knife edge now this game, with Sudor Gaming looking like they're going to be able to hold out.
Yeah, we've got 10 seconds left here for Sudor Gaming to get it done. They've got the front spawns for LO6. They're just going to have to jump and get a contest in. There's no way around it. Drew's able to find one. He's going to throw his body straight back in again. I think that's going to do it for Sudor for map number 1. They're going to get it done here on 6-star hardpoint. And they get it done not comfortably, but they get it done enough to secure the win.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't comfortable at all, but look, you have to give them so much credit that no matter how close LO6 Gold got, they always managed to lock it in, get a couple of vital kills, and keep enough times to keep themselves constantly 20, 30, 40 points ahead. And they just never let LO6 Gold get any real momentum to be able to start charging forward and overtake them. They always just about stopped them exactly when they needed to do so. But, I mean, going into the rest of this series, it really throws it up in the air as to how it could play, because at the end of the day, Sudor did a great job of holding them off, but it came from just a couple of 2 pieces here and there, some massive moments, and you're not going to keep getting those throughout the entire series.
Able to work out their structure, and it's got to be on both sides, on that offense and that defense.
Yeah, and I think it's really hard to tell between both of these teams what they can take from that map 1 going into this map 2. I think, to be honest, I would slightly favour Sudor Gaming purely from the point that we both kind of seen these teams kill well against each other, but not really utilise any pace other than maybe rotations. Like, tactics were quite even, the pace was quite even from how teams were pushing the points. I think it's all going to come down to the 1v1 gunfights. And I think Sudor Gaming just showed a little bit more prowess to have those moments where they were picking up 2 pieces or kills where they shouldn't necessarily be picking them up. The only difference maker I could really see being made in this map is perhaps the trades, how well these teams actually play together and hold angles for each other. So I think when things get a little mixy on the slightly more aggressive pushes and we see a tit for tat in terms of kills, I think that's where we might see a difference maker as to who stays alive, who gets that 3 and makes it like a 2v1 scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to start here with Comma dropping the bomb. First blood already down that B lane. So that is not what you want to see if you're Sudor Gaming fans. Losing that life nice and early, definitely not ideal, but it's not impossible to still win the round when you're down a life. We'll see how they're able to work this now, as Drew is going to be that mid-tank player. Obviously has to lay down, make sure he does not drop. And you can see Austin slowly trying to work the front here as well. So maybe the offensive play might be to try and take Diner Cafe here and see what they can work with the A-bomb. Because right now, they're just trying to find a pick, and LO6 Gold are giving them absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's really difficult to win an offense in this map in a 3v4, especially when you have the opposition not even peeking any angles, just Bud out getting ready to take one to the grave with him, maybe on the bomb, but he might still get out with his life. He picks up 1 and gets the second while he's at it. I mean, what a play. The round is seen through, and Legends of 6 Gold orchestrated that defense to perfection. They were patient, waited for their opportunity, got the picks and saw it through.
And sometimes that's all a defense needs to be. You don't always need a risk taker to try and get up the map and try and find a sneaky route and hit that flank. Sometimes structure just works absolutely fine as it is, and they don't drop a life in that round. So that is a perfect start for LO6 Gold for round number 1. But now they have to replicate that here on offense. What is their decision going to be at the start of this round? Are they going to try and steer it B? Are they going to try and late play it? That's going to be their decision here, and it's going to be Buddha with the bomb in his hands. And there we go, first blood again, this time on Danny Mac. So 1 player down early on the offensive side, just like last time. Can they fight the adversity? It's going to be Conwar playing the mid-tank this time. Some players still on the B street trying to find something to give here. But Sudor obviously learning from their mistakes in that last round, just playing nice and slow as some shots come down on that digger over on that B bomb site.
Yeah, Sudor Gaming pretty set up at where they're holding at the moment. It is up to Legends of 6 Gold just to make that push and decide how they want to hit this. Conwell will have called the cross, and Drew with a fantastic kill there. Now maybe with the opportunity to flood it into B, but that flanker is going to be an issue. Austin's coming around the back, but it does look like Cheeseburger is going to have a hold on that site, but Splody really going to be struggling there over in that tank. He needs a bit of help, but he does manage to pick up one. Excuse me, he needs no help as he defends that site well.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Needs no help at all.
Yeah, now 2v2. Clock's running down. They have to get towards this bomb site. Ooh. I mean, Sudor Gaming, they look like they managed to hold out here. That bomb's not going to go down, nearly getting through, but Sudor Gaming making sure to get that one closed out. But man, that was way closer than Sudor Gaming would be comfortable with. LO6 Gold done a great job of getting pushed in there, but just didn't have enough time to work with.
Yeah, and I think it's something both teams are going to have to think about, is how they're willing to give up that first blood. I know a couple of times now that B Street has been that position where they've found that kill, so I'm not sure if it's just the B hit necessarily giving up the first blood, maybe just the way they're playing it. I don't mind aggressive offensive rounds, but you definitely don't want to lose your bomb carrier, and you don't want to lose a player on that street, especially when you've got outnumbered positions like they usually do in a 3 versus 1 when one player's sitting there. But here we go, a couple of shots just raining down the middle of the map. Still nothing really giving just yet, and it's going to be important here that Cheeseburger gathers as much information as he can and stays alive. So he'll lay a couple of shots, dive over to cover, just try and make sure that that player at the mid cut does not get pushed as well. And well, here's Austin trying to find his way up on a nice little cheeky spot, but can't find position on it. Conwell wasting no time, running through the smoke. He knows Cheeseburger's behind. He finds the kill, but 3 have gone down very quickly. And Splody finds himself in a 1v3 position, pinned on the B bomb site with bomb down. Probably not winnable in this position here with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, it doesn't look winnable at all. I mean, picking up a nice kill, but eventually getting traded out. And yeah, that was just a bit of a stagger push onto B. They definitely had an opening, but didn't fully utilize it. I mean, look, to get onto that B point on the offensive side, everything has to really go your way, and you have to be working so in tandem down to the microsecond to get the timings going your way, to pick up the right lanes at the right times, and ultimately win your gunfights. And unfortunately for Sudor Gaming, it just didn't quite work out for them there, but LO6 Gold, credit to them, are holding a good defense. And you know, I think that's the ultimate story of Invasion. The number one thing on any mode on an Invasion map that you tell yourself as a team is just to make sure to win your defensive rounds. It's sort of that offensive round that ends up being the difference maker to set a team apart. And I think between these two teams, that's what's going to be the difference maker. Who takes that first offense is going to be the team that takes the confidence in this map.
Absolutely, and just even little small talk as well, like knowing you've got one defensive player on the B site and one trophy, it's only going to protect 2 projectiles now since the new update. So if everyone coordinates their equipment to get that trophy off of wherever it may be hiding, or at least destroy the trophy, you can utilize your utility a little bit better. And you can see the offensive sides really trying to prioritize, like in that last side where they used the smoke to get through. Will LO6 use that to their advantage here, as a couple of shots land through on Spody? He's just going to have to lay down. He's going to give the call. He knows they're trying to work up the B Street, and Danny Mac getting a couple of checks on this dark area here. He's going to spot one. Great shots onto Austin. And Buddha finds himself a kill as well on that B site player. So they're going to be able to get the bomb down now in a 1v3 situation for Choco. He's going to figure this out. He's going to spot one, but that is not a good position to take a gunfight from. And he'll get traded out very, very quickly.
Yeah, LO6 Gold just seem like a team that has a bit more confidence when it comes to the search and destroy and how they play it. We've seen that throughout the tournament this weekend, and I think here taking a vital offensive round to go 2 rounds clear, I think is going to be pretty damning for Sudor Gaming, unless they've got something in the back pocket which they could bring in now to switch up the strategy big time. Because of LO6 Gold, if they get this round, they go 4-1 up, and all of a sudden you see this one running away from Sudor Gaming, and you just got to say fantastic performance from LO6 Gold so far, doing everything they can in their power to even this all up and give us at least a map 4 in this series.
Yeah, and it's a big momentum swing as well when you go from a close map 1 to then a blowout or a possibility of a blowout. I wouldn't say that's the situation just yet, but definitely some improvement here for Sudor Gaming if they are to get back into this to stop the deficit. But have a look at this. A-bomb going down very quickly. They've caught him off the bomb. It was a millisecond away from being planted, so they've already caught on to that. Great work. Drew finds another one here, and Choco trying to slide out, and he picks up the second one. Now trying to play his life on this mid tank. He's got a player dancing around with him here. He's just going to buy some time and get the call to his teammate. Great work out of Drew there, and great round out of LO6 Gold to now go up 4-1.
Yeah, I mean, they really are just tightening their grip around this game now, starting to take these rounds with confidence. They've figured out how they want to play. They've figured out what works and sort of realized, hey, they're actually getting the picks, you know, like they always seem to be getting the first picks. They're looking incredibly strong in all of these rounds, nearly always getting that first blood. And I think Sudor Gaming are really struggling here. They have to change something. We already said that last round was a big moment where they had to change it up quick, and that didn't happen. So unless they've got something maybe that in the back pocket now to start turning it around, I think you would say it's game, set and match, because LO6 Gold are playing with a lot of confidence now in this S&D.
Yeah, and that confidence is taking them a long way right now. 4-1 lead is absolutely prime, but they can't give it up from here. It is very possible to choke a lead from this position. I've seen it many times before, but Buddha grabbing first blood. He does lose his life, but it may be a valuable one here as Drew spots the second player through the smoke. Danny Mac going to work with Drew. They find another 2, and Choco once again finding himself in a very bad position. 1v3. He's now going to get spotted, and I don't know if it's clutchable from here, Zep. I don't think it is.
Yeah, absolutely not. Legends of 6 Gold playing spectacularly, and you know, combining how this map has been playing so far alongside that map number 1, I think you gotta say that LO6 Gold, they play far better tactically from what we've seen so far. The way that they're just moving around the maps in both sides, and you know, on that map number 1 as well, they were rotating a lot as well, being very proactive on those map rotations. It just wasn't quite working out for them, and I think Sudor Gaming will start to panic now as they try to maybe make some sort of a comeback in the search and destroy, but given and seeing how they've played so far going into that control after this, I would be worried, because they really don't have it going for them on the tactics at the moment.
Yeah, and Karachi can be a very mixy control map, but here's Drew on a 4 spree. I think Danny Mac's got himself a streak as well. There's Drew for 5. So just like that, Sudor Gaming are going to lose more lives early in the round. The bomb's gone down in one of the worst spots you could drop it. I don't know if they've got eyes on it, but I don't think it matters. Austin's going to have to work with Splody here somehow to find this bomb and find the kills, because Drew is laying right on top of it, and at any moment Danny might just call this streak in and just call the round as soon as possible. But 40 seconds left. Drew just got to play his life as long as possible. Danny Mac locking down one side here on the A Street, and this is going to make it very difficult for Austin to try and make a play.
Yeah, Austin, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. I mean, credit to Splody managing to pick up that kill. The pick was exactly what they needed, as Danny Mac is looking like he's going to try and close in. Are they going to be able to get this bomb down in time? It is not the case, and just like that, LO6 Gold taking that search and destroy and taking it in fashion.
Yeah, I mean, a 6-1 to go from what we saw in map 1, you know, at stages it looked like one team may be dominant, then the other one comes back, but this was just one-sided as they come. I mean, the one round, yeah, it's good to get on the board. It's better than getting 6-0'd, but it just did not look as competitive as the first map, and that might be a worrying sign as we move into that control, as you sort of pointed out, going into Karachi as well. I mean, you need to have very clear-cut communication and control, because in a matter of seconds, you could be stuck running out of your spawn and you could go in a... All right, and here we go. We are back ready to go for Karachi control for map number 3. Tied up in the series 1-1. And as you saw in that last search and destroy, not really a as even game as compared to that first map on 6-star. 6-1 deficit, but not too late here for Sudor Gaming to get this back under their control as we kick it off here for map number 3. And yeah, LO6, they're going to start on the defensive side, so pressure will be on them to try and limit the amount of ticks that this offensive side can get. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting map, and if it plays out how the first respawn did, I'm expecting this one to be a lot closer than that search and destroy was. But it's going to be a mixy little battle over towards the B site, as now they're going to send 2 players in nice and early to start the progression, and Splody going to get tagged up in the cross, and you can see the numbers starting to push through now for LO6 Gold, but the kills coming through for Sudor Gaming. That's going to be a late 4 down, but the close spawns still right there for LO6 Gold.
Yeah, LO6 Gold getting a bit lucky with those spawns to be able to come right back onto that B point with some great work by Sudor Gaming on there. But Danny Mac picking up a 2. Splody looks like he's about to say looked like he's going to get taken out, but he still managed to stay up. But I think LO6 Gold looking like they're going to be able to do just about enough to clear that point. But Sudor Gaming, they really are giving up on this B, surprisingly. I mean, usually you see teams at least go towards that A from time to time to try and drag them off, but this has been a really strong commitment. But I think LO6 Gold are beginning to get a bit more set up for that push now, and it does seem to be rotating over towards A. So definitely an interesting strategy for Sudor Gaming, and hey, it did get them a tick and a half, but ultimately I think they would have liked a little bit more to come out of that initial B push.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point there. It's not usually a sort of thing where you see teams burn through a majority of their resources gone for one site, and that might bite them in the backside here, as they're left with 25 seconds left and 11 lives, Sudor Gaming. So they might get the minute extension here on B, which I think they're going to get, but at what cost? A minute 30, 11 lives. I guess it is pretty level, 11 to 12, but you can see the numbers for LO6 Gold. They've got some good position here. They're going to find a couple of kills. They'll try and find this one over towards Diner, but they want to try and maintain that pressure through the middle of the map and try and limit the amount of angles that these guys can go through. And here we go, Danny Mac through the top of fire, able to find one. A couple of tags will come through, and Austin trying to get through to wherever he can to become impactful on the map. But they got a player up on 3rd, and they're just trying to lock down the top of the map here as best as they can. Cheeseburger, super important he stays alive here.
Yeah, absolutely. He needs to stay up on top of that point as Sudor Gaming are on that A. They have a tick and a half gone now, 6v7. Cheeseburger can't afford to give it up. LO6 Gold have lost a lot of that top control, and Cheeseburger goes to that flank onto the point, and that's a massive kill coming in now, and they're getting that tick down as well. 4v6, dare I say LO6 Gold has done just about enough.
I think they have a 3v5 now. Choco trying to work through the back. Austin loses a big one up top. That might have swung the thing of this round. It might have gone their favour here, but Conwa never too late to make a play. If he's able to get lucky here on Drew, I don't think he spotted him in time, and Choco made the smart decision to back up and play streaks. Only 2 kills away, so you can chalk this round up. It's going to go to LO6, and Choco, well, obviously, he's just going to play his life in the back here. So, yeah, it was interesting to see the resources burn nice and early, but it's going to go LO6's way for round number 1. And maybe that sets the tone here for this map number 3.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, look, Legends of 6 Gold having a great defensive round. All things considered, it was incredibly close. But, you know, looking at the side of Sudor Gaming, you could argue, yes, they got 4 ticks, but I also would say doing all the hard work and making that B play to only then get 1 tick a day isn't exactly how you want it to work out. I mean, they could have gotten that A way earlier at the beginning of the round, had time to focus on B, and maybe at least gotten 1 or 2 ticks with it. So, Legends of Gold, I think we'll be able to smell blood a little bit here when it comes to the tick count, but again, it is all about this offensive. LO6 Gold can get themselves a few more ticks here. They'll be in a very, very good spot to come away with this map, as they are sitting on this A point and getting it capped quick. Sudor Gaming seem to have started off a little slow, it seems, but Austin eventually actually managing to get in there for the 2. It's a great job, and now we're going to have a gunfight over at B as well, which could be a big one, and I think that is won by Conwa. So overall, it was maybe a slow start in the defense by Sudor, but doing a good job.
Yeah, it was a little bit slow. They went to the sides pretty heavily, but it does work out in the end, so can't write them off completely. And, well, that streak never came to be here for Choco as well. He just fell short, so playing his life early did not pay dividends, and you've got a 5 spree on the other side for Drew, so maybe some streak potential here, and Choco just opting to play up in this little cubby here. Knows he's very well protected, and he's going to try play the kills on ult, but there's Danny Mac finding that kill there, and they'll try and work their way through to get this spawn trap in on Sudor. Are they going to be able to get it is the other question. There's Drew for number 6. He's going to get that streak secured. Now they're going to try and move on forward. Can't find the kill on Austin. He's dancing around trying to stay alive. Loses his gunfight. Conwa are able to find one, but they're going to slowly work their way onto this point. Any second now, they're just waiting and buying some time. Choco trying to work the bottom of red here, and Drew, no idea where these players are. And you can tell the communication from both sides is very heavy right now, trying to direct their troops.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very much in a stagnant setup at the moment, just waiting for those picks to try and break through, and Sudor Gaming get the first one, the second and the third. As they get some great picks to hold off on the defense, be a far easier site to defend, but all in all, if you lose that site once, it could be game, set and match for the round for you. As it is now, Austin sitting and getting this tick down as Legends of 6 Gold will have, at least you would think, 2 more chances at pushing this so long as they're quick, but only 40 seconds left and they are ticked down. They do need to try and get themselves pushed in here, and they need to do it with a bit of pace, but Sudor Gaming, credit to them, they're holding back well.
Yeah, they are doing a great job, and it has not taken them as many lives as the last round. So you can see the difference here in between the 2 offensive sides and how the pace of the round plays out. But it's not too late. They can still try and get some progression, but you can tell they're just slowly waiting to group up together. Now they're going to make the play to go through. 3 players fly. They can pause the time on 8 seconds, and if you get a lot of bodies in, the tick goes very fast. So now that's going to force these defensive players to make the decision to go really quick, and that's going to play right into the hands of Danny Mac. He finds himself a few kills. Buddha's going to come through from the front, try and get a 3rd body in, but it might be too late. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop this from being captured. You can see Austin trying to clear his corners. Good shots onto Danny, spinning around, almost took out his teammate. 3 seconds left. Contest comes in for Conwa. Knows there's 1 player in the point. He's going to spot him. He can't waste too much time jumping out. That might do it. They're going to hold on. No, they're not. Contest comes through again. There's bodies flying through. And Sudor, they hang on. And it was close, but they hang on and they tied up 1-1. And man, that was mixy towards the end.
Yeah, that was incredibly close. All credit to LO6 Gold, who made that very competitive right at the death. I think it was all part of the game plan, should I say, right until that very end, and then go for that really heavy stack push that worked for them. And it was such a back and forth with Sudor Gaming, who eventually managed to just about hold out. But what worked in LO6 Gold's favour, they got 5 ticks, I believe, as opposed to Sudor Gaming's 4, so they have 1 tick. Have a 1 tick advantage going into this one now, which could see them get another defense. But mind you, I don't even know if you'd want another defense on this map the way it plays out. It's playing defense is slightly easier, but it also feels just as risky at times.
Yeah, especially that back diner jump ball spawn. It is, we call it Death Alley over in APAC. It is just a nightmare to try and jump over the wall. But we'll see. We'll see. Offense and defense, it can always play either way. But how's that? A off the board nice and early, 2 minutes on the time, and you've still got a massive amount of lives to work B. That is absolutely ideal for the offensive side here. And now you can see the players slowly trying to work through the middle of the map and from up top yellow, but it does not work out. They get caught. A couple of kills in the kill feed now for Legends of Gold. And here we go. Conwa finding himself 1, just going to jump in the point, try and pause this time, and they know exactly where these players are spawning, but number 8 has worked out, and he might be a problem. Oh, no, maybe not.
Yeah, Legends of 6 Gold have kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit here with their positioning, but they managed to get on and get that point cleared. just about in time before the cavalry arrives directly to the point. A bit of unfortunate timing there as Choco gets taken out, but Splody could potentially do something here. But L06 Gold have managed to hold on with this defense for now. A minute and a half left, 20 v 21. Very evenly contested affair here, as that A did go super quick and Sudor Gaming bought themselves plenty of time. But this really could go either way from this point, as Sudor Gaming are trying to work their way around the back to hit a different type of offense. But they haven't seen Danny Mac 112 in the back. He is watching it, so he has it covered.
Yeah, and this is a good play to try and work through the back, but you could see a couple of players then steer back and go the other way, maybe think that they know that they're going to all be caught going one way, and there's 3 down in the feed for L06. So just like that, they deal with the offensive push, and there's very minimal time left, 45 seconds. I guess there's still enough for them to work with it, and we'll see if they can manage to find something here, but it's just kills on both sides. No real control of red just yet for the offensive team. You've got Danny Mac dropping bombs on top of the bus. There's Austin getting 2 of his own, now flying in to get some pause on the time. A couple of wild melees don't connect on anyone. And now you've got the defense spawning up on the jump wall, trying to throw some bodies in aggressively and get these players off. But a 10 versus 13 going right down to the wire in terms of lives. Can they hold on? Conway going to work inside of Diner.
And dare I say it, I think Sudor Gaming might have done enough on this point. They've got them pushed back. They're picking up the kills, and it looks like they're going to take this B to go 2-1 up. Sudor Gaming take that round, winning a vital offensive round. And my God, what a round to win. I mean, as you said, 10 v 13. It looked like the lives weren't in their favor. They weren't fully stacked on hill, but they went big with a couple of kills, coming in with the sass meow as they just decimated everyone on the point and managed to take an offense that, as we know, is incredibly hard to get, especially when the lives are dwindling at that late stage.
Yeah, and look, if there's one thing that's probably really annoying about that B site as a defense is when you spawn so close to that wall and you have no choice but to jump over it, and you have 30 players, 30 sets of what feels like 30 aiming you, jumping over that wall. It just makes it impossible to try and do anything. But here we go. Starting off round number 4, we've got the A site being the target, and already 2 ticks going the way of Buddha's capture here. So he's done a good job just locking this down. And he's going to get the second player in now just to accelerate that tick, and they should get this pretty well uncontested. So I'm not sure if Sudor's game plan was to give that up so easily. They have not invested any lives towards defending that at all. So we'll see if that plays into a factor here, as Drew picking up a nice kill up top fire. And they still do have a streak to work with if they want, L06.
Yeah, absolutely. They do have something in the back pocket and giving themselves a lot of time to work with, as Sudor Gaming did in the round previous. So for them to be hoping they have enough time to kind of go in and get a few pushes at this, try a few different strategies, as Conway's trying to push out but gets taken out. And 06 Gold in looking like it would have been a good position there to maybe get a push forward, but it's what we've seen all series. As soon as a team gets like a 2 or 3 piece and you think they're about to push forward, the other team just gets 2 or 3 of their own, seems to answer back with such a similar play that really just sets everything back to exactly the way it was. It just stagnates the push. And we've seen that so much on the map number 1. It seems to be the way the respawns tend to go between these two.
Yeah, it's sort of hard to tell, and especially where that team is spawning after the 3 down as well. Sometimes you think they're spawning out so far, but they end up spawning 15 meters away from you, and all that work you've gone to put in just goes straight down the bin. So it can be very mixy in control. You never know. Sometimes if you don't have that right positioning, you can end up in a really bad position. So, but we'll see. L06, not too bad in terms of lives. 16 versus 19, still very doable in this position to take this round, and we haven't seen them opt to use the streak just yet. I'm not sure if they're waiting for the perfect moment, maybe to get some bodies in the point and find a couple of kills before they decide to use it, but now they're going to put some bodies in. You've got Conwa holding the flank, I'm sure, for a spawner here, and they're loading a lot of bodies inside of red. I don't know why they're not going at this hill at all. Oh, they must have underestimated the amount of players that were inside. And the round's gone to LO6 completely uncontested. I'm not sure what's just happened there.
Yeah, that was incredibly bizarre. I think it's exactly what you said. They must have just thought one or two people were on the hill and were kind of waiting for everyone else to converge. I think they must have thought that if they jumped out, there would have been players sitting at other angles just to completely mow them down. So we're kind of waiting to strategize a push, but everyone was just in the hill, ready to go. That was incredibly bizarre to say the least. And I was thinking to myself, you know, they had 3 in hill, so LO6 gold, why did you not use your streak to guarantee the round? You could have stopped that push, but Sudor Gaming never pushed, so that worked perfectly in their favor. They're going into a round now where they've got a defense, and beyond that, they have a streak to work with on that defense, so a get out of jail free card perhaps at any point. Sudor Gaming may have really shot themselves in the foot for this map.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall in their Discord call, to hear the communication in the end of that round, and we're getting a streak early at the start of the round. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know. My brain's not computing right now what I'm witnessing, but interesting
We have befallen
decision.
to anarchy. We have befallen to anarchy here. Everything is just going outside of timings we're normally used to. We don't know what to make of it.
Maybe they know something we don't. I'm not too sure. We're just casters. We're not the players in this position, so I guess we can't judge too heavily here. But it looked like they were planning on a dual attack between A or B. That has not gone their way just yet. And it's going to be down to Austin here to see if he can find some kills, but they've got eyes watching him jumping out of fire, and Cheeseburger's going to go on the hunt to try and get through to the spawn here. And Drew trying to get that tick down, and 35 seconds left on the time. Are they going to be able to get this done? Sudor Gaming, we'll see what they can manage here.
Yeah, Sudor Gaming trying to get these points captured, but to no avail, and are already down 10 lives with 28 seconds left before a point is even gone. And look, you can get the A captured from here, but the more lives you drop, the more you think about what's going to happen at this B. And gosh, Sudor Gaming, I think you perfectly said it with the wanting to be a fly in the wall in that Discord chat. I want to hear what these guys are saying to each other, because that must be such a momentum killer as well. When you thought you're pulling yourself back into this in a nice control, then all of a sudden you're in a position where you could go 2-1 down in a series. And Legends of 6 Gold really doing everything they can in their power to see this one through, and credit to them playing good COD, but I think they're benefiting off Sudor Gaming just, I think, fumbling the bag at certain points.
Oh, that's going to do it as well. I don't think they're going to get there even with the close market spawn. So just like that, LO6, they're going to get it done in map number 3. And there was some really, really interesting decisions there, which I'm not sure when a good time is to bring those up, considering that the series is going to continue on. But hopefully, for the sake of Sudor Gaming, they don't let that get to their head then, because that one little decision there may have cost them that map and could be the deciding factor in this series.
Yeah, potentially, but I think, look, they just got to look at it as maybe perhaps a miscommunication, an error that happens, or maybe they just had something in their head that they were thinking of that was ultimately the wrong thing. At the end of the day, you could chalk it down to one mistake. Yes, it's cost a map, but, you know, you can't be thinking too much about that going into the rest of the series. I think this sub-base will negate some of the submachine gun strengths that Sudor Gaming brought to that map number 1. And, you know, we've seen on a long lane of sight map and Invasion, LO6 Gold managing to do incredibly well. I mean, Cheeseburger in particular was able to pick up a lot of long distance kills with that AR. He was completely beaming. So I think if you're Sudor Gaming now, you're realizing that this is an incredibly difficult task ahead of you, but if you can get through this, then you certainly can do a job on that map 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, subs do tend to get nullified a little bit on this map just because of those head glitch positions you can find all around the map, and certain long angles, definitely not the sort of position you want to take a rival gunfight with going up against an MCW. So you're definitely more than likely going to see 3, maybe 4 ARs out for some of these hills, but it's going to be up to the adaptation of both of these teams and how that flex player can manage themselves going into this map number 4, especially for Sudor Gaming now that they are facing the brink of elimination going into this last map. And not a bad start off the rip there. They find 3, but Danny Mac, we've said his name quite a few times. he's been finding some moments in this series. He's definitely been finding a couple of doubles and triple kills, and he's definitely going to be the sort of man we're going to look to and the player for LO6 Gold that might just step up and be the difference maker in this series.
Yeah, Danny Mac has been incredibly strong throughout the entirety of this series. I think everyone really on the side of Legend of 6 Gold has. I mean, one thing you can't take away from either of these teams is that maybe except for that map number 2, we've had an incredibly competitive series of both of these teams having moments. I mean, especially in that map number 1, how many times did we see the likes of Austin and Conway get 2 pieces? Legend of 6 Gold answering back with 2 pieces of their own. An incredibly competitive affair, I think, regardless, but now as we're on this map, LO6 Gold got the majority of that time on P1 and are now set up for the P2. We talk about rotations being incredibly important for both these teams on this map and how LO6 Gold potentially had the advantage in that regard. And so far that seems to be ringing true as they get a 4 down on the point.
Yeah, this P2 is super important to grab a good chunk of time on, but it's not really a great spawn for Sudor Gaming. They might get trapped in here, depending if they can get someone to slip out nice and early or if someone from LO6 gets out of position. But it's a nice little battle here on P2. Danny Mac's going to find that last kill. He might jump these last 10 seconds here, but Sudor Gaming only able to find just the 2 points so far between 120 available to start the game. So not too great as we start sub-base. Still plenty of time to be able to turn that around here, and Choco is going to make sure they start to accrue those points now as he's going to find the initial time on P3 and LO6 Gold. Well, they're going to try and work through top and tunnel, and the players from up top, they're going to have to go through Austin, and they do find one. Buddha takes care of him, and well, there you go. Conwa and Choco finding themselves a couple as well, and Danny Mac, he's just going to have to sit and wait as the players in the back are going to spawn right on top of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about the importance of spawns on this map, and LO6 Gold rotated really well for that P2 and got the payoff for that with the majority of the time. It left Sudor Gaming set up for P3, and now they're holding the time well. It is incredibly difficult to get yourself rotated between those 2 points, and if LO6 Gold had managed to break in at that point, then you really would have had to raise some question marks of how Sudor Gaming were going to play throughout the rest of this series. But Sudor Gaming have pulled themselves back into it, have to focus on the rotation. But let's see how LO6 Gold are setting up for this defense as we go for a listen in.
One secret. Alright, I'm telling it.
Bottom tunnel, one shot. Bottom tunnel, Austin. Bottom tunnel, Austin. Whoever Snow looked at.
Secret a bullet. Top secret.
We're spawning on water. We're spawning on water.
Austin, Maze dead.
Nice, we're spawning on water.
Water dead. Top
Nice, top.
No, come on, top secret. Come on, top secret.
I'm pitching secret. I'm pitching.
One shot behind you. He's laying down on the box and then showing you the point. Water. I spawned in the back.
Floaty mid.
Dead on
Did we
turn.
kill Spotty? Spotty's still in the back.
Water. Maze. He could go third.
Native on point, and then water side. Top third, water, and then on point.
Top third, Choco. Third.
I spun out. Just go left.
Third done.
Top third. Dead. Shit on.
Come on.
Push out P2. Someone needs to push out. I'll push out.
Look for comma stuff.
Oh, third.
Get out left.
Top third and top snow. Top third and top comms.
They pushed out.
I don't see third.
We gotta play time.
We got it.
P2 plat, right?
Top snow.
P2 plat. One top warehouse.
Top warehouse, Choco, weak.
The comms are most certainly locked in with LO6 Gold as they are trying to keep this lead in this game, but credit to Sudor Gaming, they have been pulling it back on the time, 85 to 90 now, and set up on this point, spawning LO6 Gold down that ramp. A decent spawn trap to have here. Sudor Gaming have really needed to take this moment to get back into it, as they couldn't let this map run away from them. It would have been detrimental to their chances in this series, and so far, as we're getting ready to set back up for this P number 1, it's been an incredibly back and forth map.
Yeah, and full credit to Sudor Gaming to fight in this matchup. I mean, you know, that difference at the start of the game did not look great, but they have brought this right back. In fact, they're going to take the lead at the end of this hill, so that is a great improvement to see out of these guys here. Now it's going to go back to P1 and the importance of maintaining a good chunk of time on P1 and then getting ready for P2 nice and early. Could not highlight and stress that more enough here for Sudor Gaming, and the contest comes in from Buddha. He's going to find 2 inside of the hill, going to work with that rival. And we said at the start of this match, those rivals are going to try as hard as they can to battle it out against the ARs, and Buddha is finding his way on this P1 hill. He's done a great job up until that point there before he gets taken out, but Alo6, 1 point lead here with 20 seconds left. It's going to go back into the favor of Sudor Gaming, but Alo6 just cannot find much of this time since that P3 rotation to P4. They have just been getting locked out in every single aspect, so full credit to Sudor Gaming. They have pulled themselves right back into this game, and they're winning the kills on rotation with the spawn at the back of P2. Talk about a great string of events for Sudor Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that they're guaranteeing themselves some of the spawns, that really could be the difference maker. But on top of that, are just picking up the kills, which is vital, as Conwell now chasing down Danny Mac. And 130 to 117, locking down the spawns. A pretty strong hold, it looks like. LO6 Gold are going to have to completely rely on that P3 now, and it's insane that that's going to be the case, given they were in a position where they looked so strong up until arguably P3 or 4 on the first set of rotations. Sudor Gaming have been playing it to perfection coming back, but credit to Drew, he picked up a nice 2 and is going to be trying to maybe pick up the 3rd. LO6 Gold, credit to them there. They needed to break in the hole from the front, and they have. They've disrupted a little bit of that time. Now the difference isn't so drastic, and they could very easily pull this back in the P3. This map screams of going right down to the wire.
Absolutely, and I would love to hear the communication going on with Sudor Gaming since that P3, so we might see if we could jump into a listen-in with Sudor Gaming.
I've read Austin. You can get a maze, you can get a tunnel, you can get a tunnel.
Nothing maze. Oh fuck, I shouldn't have shot.
I'm out bunker.
I'm gonna reroute. Yeah, Drew.
I'm pinching Sky bunker.
Deep right, another deep right, another deep right.
Yeah, they're going right, guys.
Alright,
I have
I'm
maze,
gonna
I have
through
maze.
middle.
I'm on
Deep right.
P2. I have maze.
Alright, I'm up P1.
Route me P2.
I'm going maze.
He's literally just holding this.
I'm going warehouse. Going warehouse.
2 maze.
I'm trying to help you. Drew's dead. D-Mac dead. Other one, top, he's close,
Right
close.
there.
On you, P2. Jump down maze.
Nice, last guy's
Let's
out.
go hold on me. Let's go
I'm on
literally
up
hold on me. Fucking doing
Are
nothing.
you blocking, Connor?
Yeah, I should be.
Okay, then they're gonna spawn hold. I'm gonna come help this.
Low, right on you. Yeah, 3-0.
I'm so
Are they going lab? Are they going lab?
Idiots. One left. One left.
One's one
bunker at least. I'm getting on
bunker then.
I'm gonna stay lab, guys. I'm one off a cruise.
I'm going deep.
I'm just holding
Top
lab.
comms on me.
They can go
Got me.
bunker and left. They have to go
Yo,
bunker
get up,
and left.
Boston. You can get up, Boston.
Bunker.
Just
Top comms in the bunker.
Play water for a sec.
I got one.
Hold on.
Top comms got me. He's
They're gonna get alright, they're gonna get alright.
I still have my cruise.
Can I get secret,
Top
Austin?
comms up P1 weak.
Can I get secret, Austin?
Maybe. I spawned in the back.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Stay down.
There's one in maze window. Drop you 2.
He's dead.
Nice.
One more. He's going ramp.
Look your front.
Nice one
He's
back.
going ramp. He might go.
Some
Cat
water.
room.
I'm getting rinsed from water. And yeah, I'm getting
I
rinsed
kinda
from
have
both
the
angles.
shot waters.
Maze then.
I'm one shot. I got it. You're good.
No, my bad.
You're good.
One's ramp right now. Still Buddha.
I'm about to chow it quick. Yeah, he's on the left side of it. One shot. And then Cheeseburger's here too. They're
stand
both weak. They're
outside.
both
I
weak.
spawned out.
Yeah, they're gonna parallel with you.
And there's your listen in for Sudor Gaming. And I tell you what, there's a little bit of a difference between the communication between both those teams, at least from what we heard. It sounds like a much calmer Sudor Gaming compared to Alo6 Gold, who sounded a little bit more frantic. And you could hear the passion from both teams at least, so they both want to win this map. But Sudor have absolutely dominated the back end of this game from the midpoint towards the back end. It has been nothing but Sudor Gaming just running amok on this sub base.
Yeah, absolutely. They've really locked this down. Been super surprising to see, but they've just adjusted so well to how LO6 Gold wanted to play. And as you said, the confidence has been ramped up. The comms are clear and concise, cool, calm, and collected. But it is LO6 Gold now trying to hold on to this point, but they're not really set up in the best positions to do it, but they're still picking up the kills regardless. They have to play pretty perfect hardpoint from here. I think it might be a bit too little too late for the time that they are getting, as Sudor Gaming also looking to get themselves ready for that P1. Of course, they have the map within the palm of their hand. They are so close to taking us to a map 5. But LO6 Gold, of course, going to try and come in and stop that, but Buddha would have to go massive here. The setup looking strong from Sudor. This could be it.
Yeah, this might do it here. This contest is going to be everything here for LO6 Gold, and it's going to be Austin inside of the point, working with Conmar. Cheeseburger, last guy alive to stand in the way of them, but he goes down as Conmar picks up the kill. We're going to get a P1 here. It's going to be a battle for the hill. You can see Splody trying to play out and try and help his teammate find the kills. That should do it. And what a map out of Sudor Gaming. What a turnaround from that last map. And they have got themselves to map number 5. What a great effort. What an incredible map to witness there for map number 4.
Yeah, that has just been a terrific map to watch and sort of a testament to how entertaining that this series has been as a whole. Back and forth, Legend of 6 Gold looking incredibly strong to begin with Sudor Gaming. Growing and growing into this one till eventually they looked like the dominant side. Terrific performance from every single player on that team. It was such a team performance. Honestly, I think from both teams, both really pulling out of the bag for each other, playing the right ways. And now as we go on to a Rio Search and Destroy, I do think a Rio could suit Sudor Gaming. I mean, look, I did say that they might feel a little more confident on this map, but it is up in the air, right? That Search and Destroy.
And here we go for Rio Search and Destroy map 5. Sudor Gaming, Legends of 6 Gold. We go the distance in this losers quarterfinal match. One of these teams will be eliminated. The other one will move through and try and continue their losers bracket run. No idea which one of these teams is going to be the favorite going into this map, because we've seen some strengths from both sides indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, Sudor Gaming managing to nail down the hard points. Legends of 6 Gold looking like they could be the stronger team when it comes to a Search and Destroy, but how this map could play out in comparison to the previous gives signs that maybe this is a little more up Sudor Gaming's alley when it comes to a Search and Destroy mode. So it'll be very interesting to see how it pans out, as both of these teams setting incredibly passive to begin with. Neither side want to give an edge.
Yeah, I kind of did expect a little bit of passiveness here. Judging from what we saw in the invasion, there was no real aggressive offensive rounds at all. So both teams just trying to play picks nice and early. Now the tags come through on Drew. He's going to be forced to back up. Choco was there to help. Buddha found one before being traded. All of a sudden it goes down to a 2v3 for LO6 Gold. Now they've got to try and figure out where these last few players are. It's going to be Drew playing information. Conmar's going to try and get the defuse off. He gets caught. Austin slips through the back to find one. And now Choco trying to hide behind the bomb. 1v1 situation. 12 seconds left. Cheeseburger should have this under wrap here. He's going to get the timing on this last player, surely. Or maybe not. He's going to slip away. But either way, it's going to be a round for Sudor. No, Sudor? I forgot what side played it. No, LO6 Gold. Of course.
It's Legends of 6 who take that first round.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, a great play from them. They got the couple of kills. They made sure to run down the clock. Sudor Gaming really struggled. And it's always nice to see an offensive round go your way, especially when you play it patiently, right? Because the offensive rounds can always be slightly harder to take. And sometimes playing patiently, it leaves a lot of tension up in the air. And you know, it could be a real momentum drainer if you're the side of Sudor Gaming. You know, you stay alive for so long, you think playing passive is going to work around the point, and you still find yourself just dropping one by one and losing it. But granted, it was pretty close, only first round down. I doubt they're going to be letting that get into their heads too much, as the setup looking almost exactly the same as it did in round 1, but this time the other way around, as it's Sudor Gaming trying to get forward with that bomb. Conwa just kind of edging his way up through mid, and it looks like they're going to make for the push slightly quicker and get this bomb down, but Buddha's got the information, and now it's all about the retake.
Yeah, and it just took that call from Bridge to come through, and they've been able to work out stopping the plant from going down, so they've done a good job here. Splody was the one who found the first blood, and it's a 3v3 situation now, as Splody is just going to try and get this bomb down ASAP. And you can see the 3 players from LO6 Gold all inside the mid building, and it looks like they might try and take the retake through top mid. As you can see, the very spread out defensive setup here from Sudor Gaming, and they're going to make the move now as they go over towards the bomb. They're going to spot the first on the bridge. Danny Mac will get that first kill on Austin. Cheeseburger taking out his own teammate, then loses his own life. So all of a sudden, Danny Mac finds himself in a 1v2 situation with 17 seconds, and he's going to lose that gunfight to Splody as well. A bit of a unfortunate situation there for Cheeseburger.
Yeah, incredibly, because looking at the way that round was setting up for the retake, I think if you'd managed to keep your teammates alive at that point, I honestly think you would have come away with the round win. I think that was a complete killer in terms of how that round was going to play out, but ultimately Sudor Gaming will not be complaining. They had a questionable moment in that control. Now LO6 have had a questionable moment of their own. It's all evened out in terms of moments where we're scratching our heads a little bit, and now both of these teams can go forward with the rest of this map, knowing that they're in an even playing field for the stranger players.
And I wonder if the passive rounds will continue for both sides here, but it looks like initially the defense only holds one player middle, so that might be the offensive's gate to walk through and get this bomb down B more often. And you can see the offensive side now trying to take control of top middle, but the call will come through and the defense starts to collapse in. The smoke's going to be used nice and early. Austin trying to battle through the smoke. He loses his life, but the trades are coming through for both sides. Cheeseburger, all of a sudden, as quick as that, lost every one of his teammates, now in a 1v2, and the bomb is down top middle. So we'll see what Cheeseburger might be able to conjure up here in a 1v2.
Yeah, I mean, Cheeseburger either way is probably going to be spotted on this cross, and he absolutely is by Splody, and then taking out a bit of a body shot there. Just doing a bit of teasing, it seems, as we're going later on into this series. Tensions are high. You can't blame anyone for releasing a little bit of energy, maybe. Or maybe a little bit of lag, maybe just a couple extra bullets, you know, that's the excuse we always hear, right? They never meant to do it, like, of course.
Yeah, sometimes that Packer Burst icon comes up and just a few bullets come out extra that were unintended. May have been completely unintentional, we don't know. But hopefully that body shot does not bite them in the arse. That, you know, sometimes might fire up a team, and you definitely don't want that happening if you're laying off some body shots and then dropping the map. But we don't want to cast a curse anyone, so we'll see how this plays out. But have a look at the offense now, switching it up, going to the A site instead. The smoke's going to be used to get those players into position. Now they have Garage, they've got boxes, but it's going to be Danny Mack sitting here trying to aim over the bomb. Have a look at the position from Conwa. Great trigger discipline out of him not to shoot and give away his position, but you could see Drew sitting right here outside of Garage trying to get a nice little angle to find a pick here, but they're going to get this bomb down nice and free, and they're going to spot Drew, but Splody has to be careful not to lose his life, and Conwa might be in a dangerous position here as he goes down. Now they lose one. What can they do from this position? Choco finding himself one, almost two in the back, and just like that, they all go down.
My god, Sudor Gaming, a little bit of a dismantling there towards the end, picking up the kills quickly as Splody popping off, helps get one, finishes off the second, and takes that round for his side to go 3-1 up. And damn, it's a really good performance from Sudor Gaming here at the moment. They're kind of, in a way, doing exactly what Legends of 6 Gold did to them. Legends of 6 Gold, or should I say Sudor Gaming, sorry, in the last Search and Destroy managed to pick up a round. I think Legends of 6 Gold to start to run away with things, and it seems to be like this polar opposite that we're seeing where Sudor Gaming, they're looking really strong. I think they're really feeling themselves after the momentum they got from that map 4.
Yeah, definitely, but they don't want to let that take them all the way through. Sometimes momentum can drag out a little bit, so they just need to keep doing what they're doing, and right now they're getting 2 off the rip, so the offensive side already on the back foot. The streak's going to be used from Splody, so that information's going to be in that both players are within the middle of the map, and you can see all the arrows now staring those exits, and the only way out for them is to force one side out. So they're going to elect to go top middle, straight into Conwa. A couple of shots will land, but they find the first kill. A doable situation, but 40 seconds left. Might force their hand a little bit. So Sudor have to keep this structure up and see if Legends of Gold can throw away their lives here.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're definitely giving themselves a lifeline as Cheeseburger picks up another now 2v2, but only 25 seconds left on the clock to go for a plant, and they are nowhere near a bomb site. It looks like it's all gonna maybe come to a head towards this B site as they go to look up bridge. 1v2 now, Buddha in a very tough spot.
Yeah, and getting that bomb down with both players knowing exactly where you're going to be is rough. And look at that. He jumps off. He takes the gunfight. And it doesn't matter anyway. He goes down. And Sudor Gaming, they are really stretching this lead out. Now at a 4-1 position. So LO6 are not doing themselves any favours here. I mean, they gave themselves a good chance in that round. But just going down early and giving away first bloods, it just hurts a lot. And we saw that in that invasion. Most of the time, those first bloods were winning rounds for the side that were getting them. So, you know, they might need to refine that late into this game. And they go back onto a defensive side, and we'll see if they can hold on and try and steal this round back and work their way back into this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they have to work their way back into it now, or else they're really out of options. But they have given themselves a good chance, 4v3, getting that first blood, which will prove incredibly important. And getting another Danny Mac, we said his name so many times, picking up a big kill alongside Drew. Now 4v1. Make that 3v1 now, as Austin's going to try and do something here, but an incredibly tall task ahead. Overall, good round from Legends of 6 Gold, it seems, and they'll be trying to work the comeback, but they'll need to play some perfect S&D.
Yeah, these positions are not great to be in, and I think LO6 won't give away their lives the way that Sudor did in that last round. They're just going to sit nice and tight. I don't know if they know bombs down. I'm assuming the player up top mid probably knows, and now Austin's just going to be forced to make a move, and he's going to get caught in the back. So that is the round the LO6 Gold needed. That's the one they need to ride through the rest of this map with, and just keep in the back of their mind that if they play like that throughout the rest of this search and destroy, they could pull this back and win it quite easily. They just need to be able to figure out their offenses a little bit better than they have so far. And yeah, obviously a few players on LO6 Gold now starting to step up, which is exactly what we want to see from them.
Yeah, I mean, they have to step up at this point. They're running out of options. If there's any time you're going to do it, you have to do it now, as they do have an offensive round. And if they take an offensive round here, then, you know, I would be a little more confident of their chances to come back into this one, as it seems to be an aggressive push towards A, but Sudor Gaming looking pretty set up for it. First blood will be huge, and it does go the way of Sudor. Massive moment.
Yeah, that's a big first blood to get here, and you've got one player inside of the garage just waiting, seeing if that player on the bomb will give away his life, but those toes are sticking out, Buddha. You need that cover urgently, but it doesn't matter. They're going to work the pick anyway, and it's going to be down to Danny Mac and Drew. They're positioned up top. Danny Mac goes down, and Drew finds himself in a 1v4. He's smoked out. They're getting the defuse off. He's just going to slide across. Splodey's going to catch him in the back. A couple of little body punches as well will come through, and it's going to be a 5-2 lead now for Sudor Gaming on match series point. They could get it done in this next round, Zep, and well, now it's an absolute mountain to climb if you're LO6 Gold.
Yeah, Splody, I think, once again, suffering from those lag spikes we were talking about, accidentally meleeing a dead body. You hate to see that happening, but I think Sudor Gaming, look, they're reaping the rewards for their hard work. They've really grown into this series after just about winning that first hard point to, you know, really suffering with that map 2 and 3 to all of a sudden work their way back into this one and be leading as confidently as they are, as a testament to their character, as Legends of 6 Gold are trying their very best to make something out of this map. But it'll be so much to do here as we're in this final round and they're already a man down.
Oh, and Danny Mac straight away getting right back into the action, finding that player, but he loses his life just over Challing. Probably didn't need to. Splody finding one in the back, and now Drew, you've got a 1v3 to keep your team in the competition. What can you conjure up? Can you be the man to step up, or is this going to be the end of your run? We're about to find out. He's going to get spotted. Watch the players collapse, and they're going to get it done, and watch them stand up and wave them all off. They are done. LO6 Gold out, and Sudor Gaming will progress through. And what a search and destroy we've just witnessed from them after that sub-base hardpoint. What an incredible turnaround for these boys.
Yeah, an incredible turnaround. Massive congratulations to them, and commiserations to Legends of 6 Gold, who put on a great performance. But you can even just see there at the end with Sudor Gaming, they also stood up. They were loving how they were playing towards the end of that, and it felt like they were just driving themselves off confidence, off momentum, really got into a groove. And, you know, I really just love how they managed to come back from adversity in a 6-star that was so back and forth to really just not having it go their way at all in the Search and Destroy or Karachi at times. To be able to come back in the fashion that they did is just, it's fantastic to see. And I think they're the deserved winners in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. You cannot take away any credit from them whatsoever. That was great to see them bounce back from a 1-2 deficit and then take that sub-base the way they did and then go into that map 5 and leave no doubts at all that they were the better team there, even after refining some mistakes from that map 3. Quite possibly they'll learn from that and they'll take all that going into their next